The real wealth killer no one talks about. Take a look at this chart. It shows how the average household spends their money every month. Most people look at the biggest slice, housing, and say, that must be the real wealth killer. And yes, a mortgage or rent is expensive, but at least it gives you a place to live. Food takes up a good chunk too, and while groceries have gotten more expensive, they're not the main culprit. Insurance and healthcare? Painful, yes, but they're necessary protections. Even entertainment and miscellaneous spending can be trimmed back when needed. So if it's not housing, not food, and not insurance, what is it? There's one category hiding here that quietly drains more wealth than almost anything else. And it's sitting right in your driveway right now. This is the real wealth killer, transportation. It eats up 16% of the average household budget. And the worst part? When that money is gone, there's nothing to show for it. No equity, no lasting value. Just a car that loses money every single day due to depreciation. The average new car price. This is Alex and Maya. They're in their 30s, just got promoted, and are ready for an upgrade. Their eyes are set on a $45,000 SUV. On paper, it seems normal. Everyone around them drives new cars. Why not them? But here's the truth. Transportation, especially cars, is the #1 wealth killer no one talks about. In 2025, the average new car price is nearly $48,500. Everyone around them drives new cars. Why not them? But here's the truth. The average loan balance is over $40,000, with payments around $738 a month. Consider the long-term costs of car ownership before signing that loan agreement, because once you do, you're committing to years of payments, depreciation, and expenses that leave you with nothing to show for it. The $1.6 trillion problem. Car debt hasn't just crept up, it's skyrocketed. Go back 30 years to the mid-1990s, and total auto loan debt in the US was under $400 billion. That's still a big number, but compared to today, it looks tiny. By 2000, it was already pushing past $600 billion. By 2005, it crossed $720 billion. Jumped to 2010, and it was sitting at $850 billion. By 2015, it broke the $1 trillion mark for the very first time. By 2020, it surged to $1.38 trillion. And here we are in 2025, staring at a record-breaking $1.62 trillion. That's more than a four-fold increase in just 3 decades. And behind every number on that chart are millions of people who look successful because of the car they drive, but are quietly stuck living paycheck to paycheck. By 2020, it surged to $1.38 trillion. And here we are in 2025, staring at a record-breaking $1.62 trillion. They are what is known as car poor. It means your car payments eat up so much of your budget that you've got nothing left to actually build wealth. You're working hard, but all that money is disappearing into the driveway. This isn't just expensive. It's like pouring your income into a bucket with holes in the bottom. No matter how much you earn, it slips away and ruins any chance of building real wealth. Obvious costs. The $45,000 SUV that really costs $73,000. Let's break down Alex and Maya's SUV costs over 5 years. Depreciation. The moment they drive it off the lot, it loses 10% in value. That's $4,500 gone in a day. After 5 years, it's down nearly $18,000. Insurance. Around $300 a month. That's $18,000. Gas. About $11,000. Financing. With a $40,000 loan at 6.5%, they'll hand the bank about $8,000 in interest. Maintenance and repairs. Even new cars need tires, brakes, and oil changes plus an unexpected repair or two, about $9,000. Taxes and fees. Registration, inspections, road tax, $3,000. Parking. If Alex commutes downtown and pays $100 a month, that's another $6,000 over 5 years. Add it all up, and their $45,000 SUV is really costing them about $73,000 in just 5 years. Hidden costs: how a car loan rewires your brain. But the real trap goes beyond dollars and cents. Let's use another example. Sarah bought a $32,000 car. On paper, it looked affordable, but what she really bought was a new way of thinking about money. Before the car loan, she asked, "Can I afford this?" After the car loan, her brain switched to, "Can I afford the monthly payment?" That shift rewired everything. 6 months later, she's at a furniture store. Old Sarah would have saved for a $2,000 couch. New Sarah thinks it's only $89 a month. When her laptop breaks, instead of an $800 replacement, she finances a $1,500 model because the payment fits. Within 2 years, she's not building wealth. She's building a payment portfolio: car, couch, laptop, phone, all on finance. One decision snowballs into decades of financial strain. That single car loan unlocked an extra $10,000 in finance purchases: couches, electronics, vacations, gadgets, all because financing reshaped how she viewed spending. Willingness to overspend. A recent survey shows that 1 in 5 Gen Z and millennials are willing to spend more than $1,000 every month on a vehicle. That's not a mortgage, not student loans, just the car. When you consider that many in these generations are still building their financial foundations, this reveals just how powerful the lure of car ownership can be. It's less about practicality and more about image, with status signaling often outweighing long-term financial security. Car ownership rates. The numbers back up how central cars are to young people's identity. 68% of Gen Z already own a car, leaving only about a third without. Even though alternatives like ride-sharing and public transport exist, the majority still view owning a vehicle as essential. For many, it represents independence, credibility, and adulthood, values deeply tied to perception rather than financial wisdom. Image, influence, and pressure. Research from 2023 shows that premium car owners were consistently rated higher in dominance and attractiveness. As you move from regular cars to entry-level luxury and then premium vehicles, both dominance and attractiveness ratings rise steadily. By the time you reach high-end and super premium cars, the perception index climbs close to the top. But notice the dotted line: social media purchase pressure. It starts low but spikes dramatically as you move into luxury categories, peaking at the very top. In other words, the more expensive the car, the stronger the social reward and the heavier the pressure to keep up. Add to that the constant influence of social media, where cars are used as props for lifestyle flexing, and it's easy to see why younger buyers feel pressure to stretch their budgets. The message is clear: if you want to be respected, admired, or even loved, you need this car. This pressure doesn't just come from ads, it comes from friends, family, neighbors, even strangers. This isn't just about transport, it's about social interactions, dating dynamics, and personal identity. The problem is, these psychological drivers often lead people straight into financial traps like negative equity and car-poor living. This is exactly why so many people stretch their budgets thin. They're not just buying a car, they're buying approval. 61% of millionaires drive Hondas, not BMWs. According to a study, 61% of households earning over $250,000 a year, what we'd call wealthy or household millionaires, actually drive Honda, Toyota, or Ford vehicles. These people could affordingly buy a premium BMW or Lexus, but they don't. They know it's smarter to spend less on cars, even when they can afford more. These people could affordingly buy a premium BMW or Lexus, but they don't. That contrast is telling. Flashy car equals assumed wealth, while mindful car equals real wealth. This validation spiral is especially strong among young people chasing fake it till you make it. Millennials, ages 28 to 43, now allocate 11.7% of their monthly income to car payments, more than childcare, often to maintain that image of prosperity. On platforms like X, users echo this: actual rich people don't care about cars as status symbols. It's the poor chasing the flex. That pressure to keep up or look successful is exactly what traps people in car debt. The car industry's $12 billion illusion. The car industry doesn't just sell vehicles, it sells illusions. They spend billions in marketing telling you an expensive car will change your life, while the real story is traffic jams and repair bills. They never show the reality. You standing at the gas pump on a freezing morning, watching another $80 vanish into the tank before you've even had coffee. They never show the Saturday afternoon when your dream car refuses to start and the tow truck ride ends with a $1,200 repair bill. In 2023, with projections holding steady into 2025, the U.S. auto industry spent about $12 billion on advertising, $8 billion in traditional media, and more than $3 billion of it digital and mobile. Every glossy ad is giving the same message: finance this car and you'll look successful. But success built on debt isn't success. It's a trap. Opportunity cost. How one car choice cost $64,000 in 5 years. Now let's get back to our friends Alex and Maya. What if they had chosen differently? Path A, the SUV life. They buy the $45,000 SUV. After 5 years, it's worth around $27,000. They've lost about $26,000 plus all the extra running costs. Net result? A car worth $27,000 but nearly $73,000 spent. They effectively lost $46,000. Path B, the smart choice. Instead, they buy a reliable used Accord for $18,000 cash. That one choice saves them about $600 a month versus the SUV loan and parking fees. That's a total of $36,000 in savings after 5 years. If they invest that sum in the S&P 500 at 10% returns, after 5 years they'll have close to $58,000. Add the smaller depreciation and extra savings, and the gap between the two choices is over $64,000 in just 5 years. Stretch that over a lifetime of car decisions, and the wealth gap explodes to more than $800,000. And it's not just money. The Accord kept their brain in save first mode instead of payment mode. That's the real wealth builder. The financial consequence: negative equity. It's called negative equity. Here's what it means. You owe more on your loan than your car is worth. It sounds ridiculous, but it's shockingly common. In fact, by late 2023, nearly 1 in 4 car owners were upside down on their loan. Imagine owing $40,000 on a car that's only worth $30,000. That $10,000 gap is phantom debt, money you'll never get back. And the danger is real. One accident, one breakdown, and you're left with payments on a car you don't own anymore. That's not wealth. That's slavery to a depreciating asset. 4 rules to escape the car trap. The car trap keeps millions stuck in payments, stress, and lost opportunities. But you don't have to be one of them. These 4 rules are the keys to taking back control and turning your car from a wealth killer into a wealth protector. Rule 1. Cap car costs at 10% of income. Keep car costs under 10% of your income. For Alex and Maya, with $5,000 a month, that's a maximum of $500. Most families spend closer to 15 to 20%. Cutting that back frees up $300 to $500 every month. Invest that and it grows into $130,000 over 15 years. For Alex and Maya, with $5,000 a month, that's a maximum of $500. Rule 2. Buy in the depreciation sweet spot. Always buy used, ideally 2 to 3 years old with 20 to 30,000 miles. A $40,000 SUV new might cost $28,000 at 3 years old. $12,000 saved instantly. Rule 3. Rewire your brain, from payments to wealth. Financing trains you to think in payments. Reset your brain. Tech detox. Audit all car-related subscriptions. Cancel what you don't need. Celebrate boring wins. Share the fact you've kept your car 10 years and saved $300 this month. Train your brain to crave savings, not upgrades. Rule 4. Use geography to build net worth. Where you live matters. Car-dependent cities drain wealth. Studies show households in these areas have 40% lower net worth. Move to a walkable neighborhood or leverage remote work to cut mileage. For Alex and Maya, dropping from 2 cars to 1 frees up $500 a month. That's $90,000 over 15 years. Turn car payments into investments. If you could afford a $600 payment, invest it instead. Set up an automatic transfer so it happens every month. Even just $300 per month at 10% becomes about $217,000 in 20 years. That's the power of boring choices. They build extraordinary results. The real cost isn't the car, it's the illusion. The real wealth killer isn't your car, it's the illusion. The illusion that every upgrade, every trim package, every subscription makes you more successful. But the truth is, those upgrades trade your freedom for fake status. Break free from the payment trap, and you'll discover something much better than a luxury SUV, real financial independence. Comment below, what would you choose today? Gas, an electric vehicle, or a hybrid? Don't forget to subscribe for more wealth tips. Break free from the car trap, and I'll see you in the next one.